The fog brings light, fog brings reactions, shining bright.
Hey there, Rangers, and welcome back to the Front Range. I am the dad and I'm old. My usual co-pilot, my daughter who is young, will not be with me today. She had some prior engagements, but today I am back for my favorite band, Nightwish. For those of you who've kind of been along for this ride, you know that I've, over the course of a few songs, I've really fallen in love with this band. These live performances are just something else altogether. And I've kind of been doing my homework on the band too. Just kind of really fascinated by the genre itself, the symphonic metal. It wasn't something I was familiar with, being an old school metalhead. But then within that, having listened to a few of the bands and just really being entranced by Nightwish and their musicianship, their tight live shows, and Floor's vocals and the writing are just amazing. So with that in mind, of like the writing and composition, which I'm fascinated by with Nightwish, I looked up Tuomas, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, the main songwriter. I was looking up his influences, and one thing I found interesting was harmonic film music is something that he cites as being influential to him. And so I kind of went down that rabbit hole, and it's fascinating because a lot of it is centered around being able to evoke or even manipulate emotion and make you feel things positive or negative within a film. And Hans Zimmer is somebody who's a master at this. So that makes sense. I've been having these emotional reactions to these songs for those of you that have been watching, and a lot of you have said the same thing. So that really makes sense. Somebody who studied that form of music and has that inherent understanding of the connection between emotion and music is able to compose and almost go straight from musical note to emotion, right? So that was one thing I learned. The other thing that kind of came to me, and that this is just my own observation, maybe it's already out there, maybe this is a common thing, I don't really know, or maybe it doesn't make any sense, but I was kind of thinking of one thing that makes this music, and then in particular Nightwish, the contrast of the really heavy metal when the crunching guitars and everything are playing, which is what I'm kind of used to, and then her otherworldly vocals. To me, I kind of thought that the heavy metal is almost terrestrial in nature. It's grounded, it's very earthy, and then her voice, although she can alternate, it seems like it's almost a celestial entity when she sings. And you guys know what I'm talking about. So it's interesting to me is now it's another way that I view that music, through a prism of those elements coming together of, earth and the basically the celestial being that Floor is, and in her vocals, right? And then I kind of thought that the genre itself, the music that is symphonic metal, it's trying to evoke that consciously or unconsciously. And that's why there are so many of these female singers with these angelic voices paired with obviously the bass line of metal. So anyways, that was just a couple things that I thought about and learned and postulated, but I don't want to go too long, although I already have. So I'm going to be watching Romanticide, and this has been recommended to me for sure. And we're back to Wacken again. I know I'll get to other performances. I know I've been heavy on this one, and people have commented on other, the Wembley show in particular. But I promise you I'll get to it. But really excited because I think the song was, if I recall, was pretty highly suggested. So we'll go ahead and take a look at Nightwish and Floor at Wacken with Romanticide. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Yeah, already. Floor with the windmill. Right from the jump, right? This one, some of their other songs I talked about actually how there's a building to a crescendo. Kind of the beginning, it may begin a little bit slower. I love that this one, right off the bat, it just, they're, grabbing you by the balls and they're like, or by the throat, saying, let's go. And Floor jumping right away into those vocals of basically just a yell over and over, right? With the windmill. I mean, again, you're just already swept up in it. I know I am. So, anyways, I had to stop it. Looks great. Fuck yeah. Fuck, man. I mean, I love how much this leans into the metal side of it because, again, that's kind of where my roots are with music. Yeah, I mean, again, from the beginning, seems like, again, it's been suggested to try not to digest too many of the lyrics when hearing these songs for the first time. But I can't help it because I love the lyrics as much as I love the music and the way Tuomas writes. And, I mean, it seems like, obviously, with the name Romanticide, now it makes sense. I didn't really process when I first read it what exactly it might be, or the story it's going to tell. Obviously, this is a breakup or just something, love gone bad or sour, or a breakup, like things are not ending well. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm catching from the lyrics. But yeah, man, I love the jumping straight into the metal and Floor not as much with kind of those really elevated vocals. She's singing more of a raw, in more of a raw fashion, which again, like, she can do it all. She can go either direction, which is great. But yeah, I'm definitely loving it. Fuck yeah.
She
That interaction gives me chills, right? Marco and Flora, they're so disparate, they're so different, but yet the way they come together, and again, all of it, every one of these videos, every one of their shows, every one of their songs is so tight. Like the musicianship and all the instruments and the vocals and I mean, they really must rehearse like crazy, because even with all that talent, you have to bring it all together. So, but again, just the two voices, amazing. And I mean, I don't know how it is kind of in general. I would think Marco gets a lot of love too for his voice. Obviously, it's easy to be overshadowed by Floor, but man, I love his vocals as well. Fuck yeah. I mean, amazing. And I don't know if that is the hardest song that I've heard from them so far, but I feel like it is. And I fucking loved it. I was going to stop it, but I knew it was according towards the end there. Right after I had mentioned, the way Marco and Floor's voices work so well together, even they're so different. I love when they do what they did here with this kind of almost, the two lovers or ex-lovers talking to each other. And that's been in a few songs where they utilize that technique of storytelling by having Marco representing one entity and Floor representing another. And it's so fucking effective, man. Their voices are just... they're so different, but they just go so well together. So, again, master storytelling by Tuomas with laying out this story of these bitter lovers. At first, really only hearing Floor's side, but it built, right? It built of this, well, they're breaking up or leaving each other, the relationship's gone bad, whatever it is, but then it builds, right? That anger, and that's what you're getting with the back and forth with them, of just kind of trading barbs back and forth. And again, just masterful storytelling in the narrative sense. I was trying to pay a little bit more attention, as I mentioned in kind of the conversation before, about that the harmonic film music being an influence, and kind of listening for that. I think I'm still too new to the band to really start deciphering and kind of sussing that out throughout. And this song in particular, I think probably it's harder because, man, this song just fucking rocks, right? Like, that's just a fucking head-banging song, the audiences, I mean, you see it. I love the way they react. They're so into it, and I kind of commented on another one of the videos, what we've seen now with Coachella, where you have just a sea of people with their phones up and nobody is in the moment at all. Nobody's living in the moment, which this music is built for, right? And I would think, I would surmise that fans of symphonic metal are not the type of fans who just stand there down, at ground level and hold their phones up and don't sing and fucking bang their heads and, all of those things that you see these crowds doing. I know this was a little while ago, so hopefully that hasn't kind of infected the world of symphonic metal, where you have these concerts where people are just holding up their phones for the whole show. They're not even there, basically, mentally. It's just getting video to post somewhere else. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm never let down, and it's funny how every time I listen to a new one, I'm like, oh, that's definitely my favorites. So this one, again, because it just fucking it rocked out, like it rocked really hard, and I really enjoyed that, and always enjoy, the again the musicianship of every member of the band, and I'm digging deeper. I'm starting to obviously kind of trying to learn more behind the scenes as well. So, thanks so much for being here. If you haven't been here before with me, this is something I'm going to continue doing, not just Nightwish, but other symphonic metal bands. I've done Epica, a couple Epica, and I'll be branching out more as well. But if you haven't subscribed yet, just hit that little button, subscribe. It really helps the channel and helps the kind of algorithm get out there. And in its own way, it kind of makes it easier to make more of these. So, but, like, comment. You guys know I love the comments, hear where everybody's from. But, even if you do none of that, I'm so thankful that you're here. Hopefully you'll come back for another one. And if you subscribe and hit the notification button, you may have to filter through some movie reactions and TV show reactions, but trust me, I'll get back around to symphonic metal and Nightwish in particular. But other than that, like I said, thank you. You're here. Thanks for being here. And I hope that wherever you are, you have an absolutely amazing day today. All right. I'll see you on the next one.